Hey there, everyone. I hope you're having a good day today. My name is Amelia with AmeliaMakes.com, and today I'm so excited to bring you along with me because I'm going to be organizing my yarn. You can see behind me that this corner of the room is pretty much all yarn. And I don't have a setup with, nice, neat looking shelves to put it all on. With younger kids, I don't know that that would be the smartest thing to do anyway. So I still keep my yarn in boxes and bins. But usually I like to have it a little bit better than this. But it's really inconvenient for me to pull it out so often and kind of dig through there. So I wanted to find a way to make a reference system that I can easily flip through and kind of almost see like a catalog of all of my yarn to make it easier when I'm planning things and want to check on what I have. So I've created a set of printables to help keep me organized, and I'm going to go through all my yarn and organize it with this new system. And I have a few products here that will help me make that a little bit easier. So I'm going to go do some printing, do some cutting to get everything ready, and then I will get all this yarn out and you can see exactly how much there is and what we're working with, and we're going to do it together. Okay, so I've printed off all of my stuff and I just want to show you guys. First, I have these cards. These are on printable index cards, and this is going to be the mainstay of my system because I'm going to use this for every yarn that I have a notable amount of, at least one full skein. I'm going to put in here. It's got places for all different types of information, like the brand, color, the recommended size of hook or needles to use with them, just a lot of different stuff. And it printed 3 to a page, so the index cards are perforated and I can just pop them out, and so it worked out really well. They printed really neatly on here and everything lined up the way it was supposed to, so that's good. You can also just use white cardstock, by the way, for any of these printables, but in this case, the printable index cards that can just be popped out, that's going to save me a lot of time. So I printed a lot of these. And then these are 2 types of labels. One of them is super, super simple, and you can cut out 2 per page. And then one of them is a little bit more charted out for you, a little bit more consistent, and it has places again for the brand, color, and a couple of other things. These are if you have multiple bins of stuff and you want to paste these on there to let you know what you have. I just printed these on cardstock. I may or may not use them, but I do mention printable labels where you can print this on there and it will line up, and then you can just peel them off and stick them on. And by the way, all the specific products that I made these to be able to go along with, if you want to save time, they're all linked in the little ebook that you get with this printable pack. And then we have some tabs. And again, I just did this on paper as an example. I've got tabs, there's a few different pages of them for colors, fibers, all different weights, so that however you want to organize your yarn, you should be able to have tabs that'll work with you. And you can print off just one set or multiple sets, depending on how detailed you want to be. And this is obviously specifically if you're going to use it in a binder. I am probably not going to use these because my binder system is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to have more things in a card box. And so I'm going to stick with probably just writing a few things on sticky tabs like these. But this is for if you want to use tabs more or more as the main part of your system, or if you know you're going to be putting everything in a binder and not really in a card box. All right, and then we have some printable lists for yarn. So this is to put all of your yarns and just list them. Like if you want something really simple that's going to take you less time but still give you a way to flip through your yarns, or if you want to take certain groupings of yarn, like for a project or for putting a color palette together, this would be really good for that. All of these holes are just to be punched out. The yarn is going to be threaded through there. And again, this is 2 per page. So you should have plenty of room to hole punch it on one side, have the yarns on the other side, and it fits nicely in a normal binder. So I'm going to be using some of these, I think. Printed off a few of those. And then lastly, we have our project sheet. So obviously this is not necessarily for organizing your yarn, but for organizing specific projects in the same binder or folder if you want to use that for keeping your project and your yarns together. It's got a few places with holes to put yarns through for that specific project, and as well as other things, like if you're sketching your own design, or if you're doing a gauge swatch, there's a place for that down here. So you can use these with a pattern. If you're using a pattern to create something, but you're just writing some notes on how it works out for you and things like that, or the specific yarns you're using, it can be a great way to just keep all your notes together and have a nice record of what you're doing. And you can also use it as a pretty good starting point for writing down your own designs. You know, a whole design might fit on here, or you might have like draft 1, draft 2, if you're doing your own design. So I created these to have a lot of flexibility. And you'll notice that they really don't have a lot of decoration, especially the yarn cards. They're made to be very printer friendly. So just now when I was printing all of these out, I actually had a low ink notification coming up on my printer. It was giving me the low ink message the whole time, and I was still able to print off all of these. So I didn't want it to use up a whole lot of ink and eat up a lot of ink for you guys. So most things don't have a lot of decoration. If you open up the ebook to read all of my tips and my thoughts on organizing your yarn, that's nice and colorful and pretty to read. But everything that you're printing out, I wanted to make more simple and just really consistent and easy to use with these products. So now that I've gone over all of that, I'm going to start popping out my index cards and cutting everything else out that I need to cut out, and doing the hole punches for the yarns, okay? And then we'll really get going here. All right, I'm back. All of my cards and other printables are prepped and ready to go. And it actually didn't take too long because I just did multiple pages or sheets at a time. So, time to break out the yarn. Oh my goodness, this is so much yarn. I haven't even pulled out my basket of like current projects and things that I have immediate plans for yet. So I'm gonna pull that out and check it. Okay, so I've gotten everything out. This is definitely some stuff that I did not even remember that I had. So as I start going through things, I'll probably start by filling out cards for things that I have a lot of and just kind of get them out of the way. And then I'll kind of figure out as I go how I want to put everything back into that big trunk bin thing so that hopefully it's not so difficult to get it out next time. And also another thing that I'm going to be considering is this stuff that I will still actually use. I talk about this some in the little ebook for this system of organizing, just some tips and thoughts that I have that I don't want to keep something and have it using up space if I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to use it in the foreseeable future. So I do not feel guilty about getting rid of things. So as I go through, you might see me set things aside, and that's also going to help me end up with organized yarn that I feel really, really good about going through and using. All right, guys, as you can see, I have got a lot of stuff done, and I'm close to being finished. I've got kind of an assembly line set up with my cards and cutting pieces for them and then going back and filling them out. So I'm going a lot faster than when I started, and also I have more space, so that's easier. So I've been interrupted a few times with, getting the baby down for a nap and stuff. So I can't say exactly how long this has taken me. I think I'm a couple hours from the last time that I was filming, but this time investment really hasn't been that big so far for what I'm ending up with, and I'm really excited to show you the final result. Well, guys, I am all done, and I've got to say, I am so satisfied with how that went, even more than I was expecting. So I will show you all of my yarn cards in just a second, but first, behind me, you can see the same yarn corner, and obviously it looks much cleaner. And so let me just break down what you're seeing here. I took a chance to get rid of all of those boxes that some things were in, and this is the same blue tote that you saw me putting things into and taking things out of earlier. It's still basically just got all the yarn is just in there. I detangled some things and started sorting things by color in there too, but mainly I just put things where they would fit, and everything fits in there that I actually categorize. Then this basket is a couple of things. This basket is full of little balls of stuff that I didn't feel I had enough of to actually make a record of. I can just kind of dig through there and find little things for little projects or for stash busting projects. And then I have a couple of things that I'm probably not going to be buying again, that I don't really care about as much. And then everything else you see here are some projects that I either need to photograph for the website right now or are just my current projects. So a few things of yarn right here, for example, I found to finish a little sweater that I'm making for a family member. So I just put all that together. That kind of stuff I'm going to get to really soon. So let me show you the difference that the Printables made with this system and why I'm so excited. In this box, I have all of the yarn cards. I went ahead and invested in a really pretty bamboo box. I got this off of Amazon, and it had enough room for all of the cards. Let me show you. Look at that. This is a record of everything that's in that big box, and it's so easy to go through. I kind of sorted it by color in here, and I am just so happy with this. This was my end goal, to have something pretty that can sit on my desk or my dresser, and that I can quickly go through my yarns. And I love it. Something I wasn't expecting is that this is so useful for making me see that I have a lot of different types of yarn of the same color. For example, I've got like 3 different colors of black here that look the same, but they're different fibers. And so it's things like that looking at a big pile of yarn, I may not have been able to see, but having the information written down on these different cards is going to help me go through things so much more quickly. So if you can see this, but some things I didn't write a whole lot on. You don't need to fill out the entire card. You can see most of the focus is just on the little yarn sample right here, and I just wrote down what I knew. For example, this one did not have a label on it. I don't remember what brand it is, but I could estimate my yardage, and I know it's a wool blend, this particular yarn. So I just put the information on there that I knew, and I put the information on there that's going to be important to me while I'm deciding, what to use in a project. So this is the main point of my printables and what I wanted to get out of this. And then I also have all of my extra cards, all my blank cards in the back. I decided to do it that way so that when I buy new yarn, I can just add it really quickly to my system, and it's not going to take me this long anymore. It's only going to take a few minutes, each time I need to update something. Now, if you don't like the idea of using a box and you want to use a binder instead, I do have a few things in my binder. And open this up, and I put my extra printables here that I haven't gotten to yet that aren't cards. And then I went ahead and used this for a couple of things. This is a multi-pack that I just bought of multiple skeins all in one yarn line. And so I just went ahead and put all the colors here, and I did not make a card for each of these individually. And I just wrote down all of the color names for reference. And then these are just some cotton yarns that I just used actually for those projects there. They'll be on the website. And I know that I will probably want to come back and order more of those in the future. So I just made, one of these for different cotton yarns. Then I have my projects ready. And lastly, these inserts I got so that I can put yarn cards in here if I want to. You can use the yarn cards with the binder. I'm not doing that immediately, but what I think I'll do is as I use up yarns and I don't have them anymore, I'll probably put them in the inserts in the binder for reference if I think it's something that I'm going to want to buy again or use again. So you can absolutely put things in here by color or by weight, whatever you want, and you can put your whole stash in here this way and then just flip through it. I am just so excited with how this works for me personally and how I don't have to go into that big bin and dig through things every time I want to check on something or yarn. I can only go in there when I know what I want and I have a project in mind already and I'm ready to start on it. And so this is just going to make things so much easier for me. It's going to save me time. Plus, it is just so fun for me to look at all of these different colors and just appreciate the potential of everything that I could be making. And I'm so happy to be able to have this on my desk and be able to open it anytime. So thank you so much for looking through this, watching this with me as I went through this process myself. If this is something that you want to do, please check out the Printable pack. And if you want to reach out to me and show me how it works for you and show me pictures of your organized system and everything, you can reach out to me on the website, which is ameliamakes.com, and I would love to see that. I would love to see pictures of all of your organized systems and your stash if you use this while you organize things. So thank you for spending this time with me. I'm so excited for you, and I will hopefully talk to you another time. Bye.